of 3, obviously. So we still got plenty of coverage no matter what happens here. But it is pretty damn cool that we do have a game number 3 as always, especially in these top-tier matchups. So I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Beef once again here on Honcast. So welcome back.
Heyo.
Game number 3, man. Lions looking a lot better in that game, I'll say that much.
They looked like a return to their former selves, the shadow of their former selves there in game number 1, but definitely looking much better here. And like you said, absolutely no surprise whatsoever that we do see a game number 3 here. I mean, I expected nothing different. tmsR and Lions, definitely some very, very strong teams. And also, these are probably your two favored teams to be moving on in the DreamHack death matches, which are going to be coming up next week. Each of these teams maybe with the easier matchups. Lions going to be going up against Absolute Legends, and then I think tmsR going up against Team Excellent.
They're going up against Justice League, I believe.
IG's Justice League, aren't they?
No, I could have sworn
tmsR. You know what? It's tmsR versus Justice League. So I'm insane
when he said easy, I'm like thinking to myself, wait a second, I don't know about easy by any means. I mean, Lions, yes. Lions, I do agree, definitely. Absolute legend again. I talked about the podcast, not expecting a whole lot out of them, honestly. But tmsR versus that should be a great bet. I think that's going to be the best out of 5 of the 3, actually. So
No doubt about it whatsoever. So once again, Breaky, I mean, what's on the line here? Top 3 minimum here in the SoundBlaster Heroes League Season 2, and it's going to be really interesting. Now, I believe that the loser of this one is going to be playing DC Fabulous. I'm not 100% positive on that.
No, you mean Fade to Black.
Fade to Black, sorry.
I was going to say.
Stupid brackets bugged, and I read it wrong right there. You know what? We're just calling each other out all over the place. In any case, the matchup against Fade to Black definitely going to be an interesting one. That one coming up tomorrow in either case. Yeah. But Breaky, getting into this game, we've already got some picks coming on out.
We do. Just clarifying that too. DC Fabulous and Denali Sports, those are the 2 teams so far that have been knocked out officially. So. Yeah. We still got 6 more teams remaining, so there you go. We are moving along here, though. The Master of Arms, Ophelia, Sandwraith, and Keeper bands coming out. So, obviously, tmsR does not want to have to deal with the Keeper of the Forest. That does allow them to first pick Tempest, but tmsR responds with a strong Kraken. We just stressed on that last game especially. I mean, really is just a top-tier hero now, and there's just so many great things about the hero. So, tmsR just fine with valuing a first pick in him. Lions going back to the Wretched Hag roots for their side. You do got Engineer Interns with a response coming out for Too Much Sugar. So far things looking pretty similar to the first 2 games here, as far as the draft is moving along. We'll see how Lions now responds with their 3rd and final pick before the next tier of bands here. Again, not really too much given away just yet. That could easily be a Suicide Hag, as it could be a short lane Hag, especially in the hands of Lion Esports Club. So it's just a matter of how they follow up here. But loser versus Justice League. Okay.
So it could be a preview of tmsR versus Justice League here.
That is the case, yeah.
That would certainly be rather interesting. Yeah, I did just get confirmation from our head admin over there.
And that would be tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Losers bracket round of 2 matches. So the guys from IG versus Stay Green drop down to play against Fade to Black. So definitely interesting. And Torture is going to come out. Okay, what did I say about the last game? A Torturer protecting a short lane hero can zone out a Kraken. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what they might try to go for right here. This would lead me to believe that Wretched Hag would then either be playing a Suicide mid or long lane. And Lions, it's not too often that we see them actually get a Torturer protecting a short lane. They normally love their dual lane mid situation. So I'm really interested to see what they actually do quite well here. The ones that I do think that they might have a chance of playing, maybe a Dampier, maybe like a Dampier being played by Super KGE or Fuzi. Corrupted Disciple, definitely still on the board here as well. But, I mean, those are really the only 2 that you typically see coming out of the Lions, unless they go something a little bit more unconventional.
Yeah. Well, you do see here that Pebble's final pick, again, that kind of goes back to last game where I was talking about the idea with the Magnus pick, how they had a hero like Pebbles that they could have gone instead. But they chose to go with the Magnus, try that out, and I think it's safe to say clearly that just didn't work out. I mean, you get the idea. I mean, he is better, obviously, in some cases in terms of getting away as you really stretch, especially from a hero like Kraken and whatnot. But he really just was not the most impactful as you would like him to have been. So they're going to go back to the roots in a sense, going back to Pebbles here. and seeing how that works out. You look at the bans, by the way. We're going to see a Devo final ban. They got Prisoner and Ravener so far. Again, this guy's Super KGE. He's the player right now in the competitive scene where teams are like, we respect you the most. I mean, because he has shown he can really take over the games for his team with Lion Esports Club. So there's a Devour ban. Yep. So it's all Super KGE bans here coming out from Slicks.
It certainly will be, and I wonder if tmsR is reading into this the same way that I am. I mean, it's very possible that I'm way off. Oh, Dr. Repulsor. Dr. Repulsor is another one that they could play in that short lane to be babysat by a Torture.
Yeah.
So I'm that's what I'm all about right here. I'm going to be made a fool of once again when they choose to go with a dual lane mid and then solo Wretched Hag short, pick up a Suicide. But I don't care, guys. I'm going to tell you what I think. In any case, and now Lions 40 seconds to make their next hero choice. With all those ones banned out mid, that means that you're going to have to go for something like a Rally or maybe even like a Lodestone in that Suicide lane if you do want to go with that.
Yeah.
I think that should be a possibility. And I really do think that Rally is a great hero choice right now for Lions to put into that Suicide lane even. And we'll see if they do agree with me right now or not.
I can also see like some like Pharaoh maybe. But the thing, I guess,
not against the Kraken.
Yeah, against Stubborn team, there really isn't a reason to really pick up a Pharaoh though. So, ooh, they go Flux actually. Interesting. So, is that where Super KG is going to play? The Flux Torture mid lane, perhaps? I mean, I know they are known for running the short lane Flux as well every now and then.
Flux Tort will crush a Kraken.
They don't have Engineer, though, either. So that is – but, I get, there is still good synergy there with that said. I mean, you got Torture, Tempest, Wretched Hag, all great AoE synergy. So it's not like you need an Engineer to make it work by any means. But, yeah, they're going with the Flux. They're going with the Flux. That's going to be fun to see how that works out for them. And now –
I got it.
Yeah?
I'm just thinking here. I don't like them going dual lane against this Engineer Pebbles. Even with the Flux Torture, I think that they could win the harassment war, but there's a strong possibility that they kind of lose any other kind of war. And if they go Corrupted Disciple right now, I would love the CD Torture in the short lane. Torture could actually even rotate rather quickly out of that one because Corrupted Disciple can handle his own against a Kraken if he does have a very small advantage. And then you can put the Torture in the middle lane with Flux, but it's going to be a Scout.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's going to be a Suicide Scout. It's going to be... Wretched Hag as a solo, and then Flux Torture dual lane. Now, whether it's going to be a Flux Torture in the bottom lane or mid is still yet to be seen. And I think a lot of that's going to come down to tmsR's last pickup here. They did just go with the Andromeda, so for going any kind of a jungler, they will run the dual support. And this is probably going to be a short lane. Yeah, there it is. Soul Stealer, Andromeda short lane, Engineer Pebbles mid, and Kazu playing the Suicide Kraken. Clear-cut lanes for tmsR, and now Lions have to decide what they want to lane themselves.
Yeah, Soul Stealer, final pick coming out. Look at that minus armor potential, too. Between him, Kraken, and Andromeda, they definitely got a good amount. So that's going to be fun to see taking place here. But, okay, so they swap it around. Fuzi in the end, he's going to be in the Hag. And they got Super KG, of course, on Flux. Yeah, the thing with the Scout pickup, the idea they're not going up against a jungler, and again, it seems like we stress that if you're going to pick up the Suicide Scout, he's so good against those junglers, but that's not happening here on tmsR. Not to say that that's a reason not to pick him up by any means, but at least it takes away a little bit from his value in terms of what he brings to the table. So it's going to be interesting to see how he works out. But on top of that, they got the Wretched Hag carry, so I like to see this where if you're going to have that Wretched Hag carry, also having a backup carry, something like that War Beast or even a Scout in this case, to go with. Lion Esports, or tmsR, I should say. Right off the bat, I don't think this is a Kongor attempt here. They didn't really build for that. Yeah, they're actually just trying to be sneaky here and trying to maybe catch Lion Esports Club in the jungle, kind of a little bit off guard, but we'll see if that takes place. Actually, it could. I mean, Flux might run right into this. Yes, he is. There we go. Stalagmites, they barely connect, but it does connect. Flux, he's so tanky, but it doesn't matter. He is going to fall. And did Tempest go stun? No, he did. I thought he might have went stun at the last second. That would have been big. But no, they do get the easy kill, and now tmsR falls back. So a good route right there by tmsR coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Made sure to catch him off guard a little bit, maybe doing a little bit of replay watching and scouting out for the best area. Gets the kill. and looking really good for them. Now, Seal Kid heading into the middle lane now. It looks like they will be throwing that Torture Flux middle lane. And once again, this is going to be a strong farming lane. Flux should be able to actually crush this lane in terms of CS. But if Pebbles comes over and lands a stun on either one of them, and especially if Andromeda makes a rotation, it's going to be extremely dangerous for the Lions middle lane.
Yeah.
Seal Kid's going to go ahead and drop a defensive ward, protecting himself from Andromeda up here at the top side of the river. At least that's what I'd expect him to do. That's really where he's going to need to be cautious. And I got to say, tmsR's laning situation, I'm a little bit favoring them. Wretched Hag is going to get out CS'd heavily by this Kraken.
Yeah.
And Tempest probably is not going to be able to set up kills anytime soon. Moon Meander's already got a good ward of sight down. So they should win. tmsR should win both top and probably split or win bottom lane. And then middle lane is going to be kind of interesting. It's going to really come down to how this lane is played out. Rune control is going to be extremely important. But then Lions also has the X factor of Tempest with his farm. So this is going to be an interesting early game, Breaky.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the warding situation here in the Legion jungle. He does counter ward one right there. He has another rev ward. He's going to place it perfectly to counter ward this one as well. He almost, and I want to say he could also get this ward of sight. It looks like it's just barely in range. I don't know if it exactly, it must, if it's not, it's just literally on the outskirts right there. I'm using the line, and it looks like it's just below 800. But anyways, he doesn't see it. He was using the flying courier. Again, he got the big counter wards off initially, and that's what matters. He didn't get this one, but he didn't get the pull camp for the minute, but at least he does take care of it for the 2-minute spawn. So Hanskin going to have at least a decent start here, especially as to what they attempted to do in terms of blocking his camp. So well played. But yeah, you talked about the matchups here and how it seems like tmsR, the laning phase, definitely leaning maybe a little bit more towards them in terms of having the better potential here. This middle matchup, though, it's going to be fun because you can definitely see, as you talked about, that double range advantage. Obviously, Flux's range isn't necessarily the longest early on, at least, only 350, but it still is a double range advantage. But the stun combination definitely superior on tmsR side. So I have a feeling we're going to have some pretty good action here in the middle lane in terms of it picking up here.
Oh, absolutely. And Breaky, I was doing the line thing as well, and I'm reading 802.
Okay.
On a 800.
It's hard to say exactly
right
where it is from, but yeah,
exactly.
It must be like just out.
Very close. And speaking of that rune control middle lane here, looks like a regen rune going to be picked up by Engineer. He'll throw a keg out just to kind of burn some of that free mana, and no, Flux is manning up, but here comes the roam from Andromeda, like I'm talking about, Breaky.
There we go.
No, brilliant chain reaction. That might have just saved him, but Engineer has a keg.
Yeah, that is going to land, and here comes the combo stun now. I was going to say, that was a huge torturous stun, but it wasn't enough in the end. That was big, but yeah, the roaming Andromeda does work right there. You mentioned Soulstealer doing just fine against Scout up here. Doesn't need him to babysit by any means, and that opens up the door for the roam on top of the rune control. So big start here for tmsR. I was going to say, you know, Flux, it is kind of cool for Flux. He has that ability to pull his teammate if maybe he gets caught in a combination. So there is something there to an extent, but yeah, right there, obviously, Vassar. Oh, missing the stalagmites. Slick's trying to go for torture, but Seokid able to react just in time, and he is going to be fine. But the better start definitely in favor of tmsR so far. This bottom match, by the way, Kraken 15-2, Wretched Hag 10-0. So
yeah,
you stated, man, Kraken's having a great time there yet again in the suicide lane.
He was stacked 190 regen, and this means that Kraken will win this lane 100%. So this is really just kind of questionable by Lions, in my opinion. You know that Kraken is on the board. You got to not set this matchup up because Hag will get dominated, at least for the early levels. Once she does get a small level advantage in like level 3 Haunt, Kraken can start to take a little bit too much damage here, but he's going to have a bottle plus boots here very, very soon. And Wretched Hag already burning a lot of the charges on her bottle. Rune control is going to be very important between these two here rather soon as well. But already you got, looks like tmsR camping top runes here. His dual support is really doing work.
It certainly is, and there you go. It's going to be a refreshment, actually. I always love the Halloween runes, by the way. And I see that they added one for the refreshment. It's like some cauldron, I guess, that they put in there. So those are just fun runes coming out. But anyways, so obviously the great rune control yet again. Double damage on Kraken. This could get a little scary here for Wretched Hag. Just even one splash attack as, he almost gets it off. He's going to chase. He is going to get it. Look at that damage. That's what I was talking about. That was one freaking attack right there, and it took out almost half his life. It felt like a third of his life at least. So Wretched Hag having that bottle, though, recharging a little bit. But, yeah, kind of scary right there. Kraken with the DD, especially this early on. So going to be fine.
Yeah. A little bit terrifying indeed. Now, middle lane, they're going one more time here, Breaky. Impalement's going off, doing a ton of damage. And will Torture go for the dive? Not going to complete the dive. So it's just going to be Engineer and Pebbles falling back now. Oh, man. Very, very close to a kill happening in the middle lane. Would have been a gigantic kill on Pebbles.
Well, you know, this build is positive and negatives. The positive with this build, it's great for when you do get jumped, which you can tell he's preemptively, as soon as he sees stalagmites, not only is he trying to dodge it, but he's popping that W. So if they do initiate, they're going to take some good return damage. Now, the negative of this build, without going the agonizing bonds, it obviously lessens your harassment potential in the laning phase, which could be great against this on top of the double range advantage that you got. So it is kind of a give and take. But you can definitely see why he's going that more the impalement and chain reaction build instead of putting poison into the agonizing bonds. Top lane, Scout's going to barely get away. Scout was applied with Dust, or Dust is applied to Scout, whatever way you want to put it. Anyways, the Vanish, that's a great thing about Vanish, though. It's not just a stealth tool. It is a movement speed increase as well, so it helps him get away, and he is going to be fine in the end. So good attempt right there, but not enough. But however, Soul Stealer, I assume he is doing very well. Yes, he is. Fuzi here, or excuse me, not Fuzi, but Haxrin here at 29 and 15 now.
Breaky, middle lane, the river here. There's going to be a Kraken ultimate maybe. No. Really good rotation out of the Lions. They made sure to dodge the Kraken. They had no vision on him coming from the bottom river.
Yeah.
But they actually did probably get an MIA call. Scout's going to try to put some damage on Andromeda. I don't think he'll get this kill, though.
No. Especially with Soul Stealer coming in, that's going to get him back up. In fact, Andromeda, I felt like could have even turned around with the Comet Stone right there.
Yeah, maybe.
And with a couple of Demon Hands, that could have been a counter kill perhaps, but not going to risk it. He does have full life.
If she didn't blow the Dust, the Comet Stone would have been disjointed by a Vanish, most likely.
True.
And thinking that they probably wouldn't get the kill, might not be worth blowing the 90 gold on Dust.
Yeah.
So, in any case, Scout doing all right. Middle lane, one more time.
Yeah, Flux in trouble. Kraken's running in. There's the release of Kraken, and honestly don't even know if that was 100% necessary, but hey, it gets the kill. It guarantees it, and Kraken does actually get credit for that kill right there as he comes in with a flank. So some good movement coming out from KZ. That puts him upwards of 300 gold per minute himself now. On top of Flux is getting nothing. Super KG playing Flux is really getting nothing. Those are 3 deaths. All belong to him right now in this game. I mean, then looking at those hero stats, it is pretty embarrassing, frankly, for Super KGE so far. But you know, that's just been the name of the game as far as how things are going earlier on. So yeah, he is struggling, and tmsR definitely going to like to take advantage of that. Pebbles, in the meantime, Pebbles isn't taken off by any means either, though, so it's not like a complete give and take there. But at least they are locking down the Flux. It's where Soul Stealer is where it comes into play as far as his start. I'm actually curious, as usual with a hero like Soul Stealer, what kind of build do we see? If he's going to maybe rush that Shrunken Head idea, or if he's going to go more the Portal Key, even the Whispering Helm possibly, so we'll see where he goes. Even the Firebrand, I mean, wouldn't be out of the question. So, bottom lane, though, we have some possible pickup. No release of Kraken. Tempest running back in. He is going to element him right there. Catches both. The barely caught Engineer, but it does catch him. Kraken Tsunami charge away. But no, the blink Sonar Scream from Hag to finish him off. And a 2-for-0 exchange at the bottom lane there.
Man, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we're focusing on the top lanes and the bottom lanes, and quietly, stealthily, under the radar, Wretched Hag recovering from 215 gold per minute all the way to 325 with those kills. And we haven't even talked about Tempest at all. He had 1 camp blocked out. Hanskin's been farming well, 315 gold per minute, level 7. He'll hit level 8 probably on just a couple of creeps here. And this is what you want to see from a Tempest. If you're hearing about a Tempest, it's because he's either ganking or he's being blocked and harassed.
Yeah.
In this case, going to be just lots of farm. Scout and Flux. It's a hasted Flux going to kill into Andromeda up top. And Lions, they're starting to snowball.
A little bit, yeah. Soul Stealer obviously already getting back, and that's not a situation he wants to be in. Bottom lane again, though. Kraken, he might be in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have enough mana for release the Kraken. He is going to fall. The Impalement's doing so much damage. Or is he? Are we going to see an amazing escape from KC? Oh, the release the Kraken. It does take out Torture. So he gets 1 kind of kill. He's looking for another. If he got the splash attack off, that could have been close, but no. The kite just enough, and he does fall. So it was pretty entertaining, but honestly, still, Lions is very happy with that. They're also going to get the tower kill on top. And yeah, now that snowball is starting to really pick up here for Lion Esports Club. Fluxo in the middle lane. He might need to use his ultimate here. He switches to push. There you go. He is going to ultimate. Is it going to be enough, though? There's the slow. Pebbles, he chucks in. Engineer says, get in there, bro. He doesn't have the stalagmites. Flux is going to be fine. And now a counter, perhaps. Torture comes in. And you have Scout collapsing. He is level 6. I don't know if they're going to open, though. No, it looks like that should be the end.
They'll split off an Andra, though.
Yep. G's in trouble. Donna.
Yeah.
Cue the Jaws theme.
I got it.
Nope, never mind.
Oh no, Jonas.
Not gonna go.
He's not a fan of Spielberg. But
Guess not.
in any case, Lions definitely looking pretty good right there. They do get the tower in the bottom lane, so making sure to extend that resource advantage. But Lions are definitely a team with a bit of a window right now. They're gonna look good even going into the late game, but you don't want to take it too long going up against a Kraken, a Pebbles, and a Soul Stealer here. And up top, they will grab that tower. Ooh, that was close.
No, that was just a beautiful play by Jonathan Fan. You know, a lot of players, including myself, I'll be the first to raise my hand. I would have just kept running right there and hoping to dodge the Demon Hands. Jonathan Fan was patient enough. He knew he got jumped. It was a great initiation by tmsR's bottom lane, by the way, to killing Akazu. But he actually threw out the silence rather than just straight up running away from Demon Hands to silence Soul Stealer, preventing him from finishing him off with one more Demon Hand. So, again, that was just well played by Jonathan Fan right there. But bottom lane in the meantime, we got Fuzi taking out Kraken yet again. Kraken now 3 deaths himself. He is 2-3-1 though, so not too shabby. But Wretched Hags farm Fuzi and now upwards of 370 GPM actually. So Fuzi is really stepping up his game as far as his farm goes.
He certainly is, and I think this comes down to more Kazu being a little bit too overconfident here. We saw it, I believe, this weekend in a game of tmsR versus IG, I want to say, when tmsR did pick up a suicide cell for us, and Kazu had a really good time, farmed extremely well in a 2v1 lane, and then he was like, okay, I beat you guys already, so I'm just going to go ahead and go full YOLO here, and ended up feeding like 3 or 4 times in that bottom lane. This is the same situation on Kraken, where he got himself a nice little resource lead, probably about 50 gold per minute on his opponent, went for a roam, and then came back and died to a Tempest ultimate, understandable. After that, he no longer has his advantage, but he feels like he does, and has fed 2 additional deaths. He's dropped down to 246 gold per minute. And so far, I mean, our Suicide Krakens have been up at like 400. Kazu definitely not looking so good here against Fuzi and the Lions.
Yeah, bottom lane, or bottom Rooney, they do actually counter it right there. That's Lion Esports Club. So good job coming out from there, taking a move me and his ward aside that he plays. And speaking of Kazu, actually, Tsunami charges away right there. He knew that they were coming for him. Does not want to risk it. So well played. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, speaking of counters, that's actually their 3rd ward they've countered in the past 2 minutes here in the middle river. Yeah. You can see all these Ward of Revelations down. There's not a single Ward of Sight on the map for tmsR. Yeah. Lions has got full map control right now.
Yeah, that's obviously a big advantage for them. I mean, and I also love what Jonas Fan did right here. He blocked the stack attempt right here from Andromeda, but then he also took a couple of the yellow creeps in the process. But they're going to go to the middle lane now. They're going to look to collapse maybe. Scout kind of just running on by with that Vanish active, of course. They're not going to make anything happen just yet, but actually tmsR wants to go. Super KG is jumped. He goes down. Soul Stealer ports in. He's out of mana, though. He might have 1 Demon Hand, if that. He's going to take a stun, though. Bat Blast hits several. Big release of Kraken, though. Catching Torture, going to fall. We do see the energy field also coming out. Tampa's looking for a chance. He will get it off, but Mumian, able to stop him with that Keg stun. However, Wretched Hag comes back in to finish off Engineer, but down goes Tempest. I think tmsR, yeah, they're pretty happy with that exchange overall. 3 for 1. Coming out right there in Too Much Sugar's favor after that fight. Now, Jonathan Fan, he's still looking for something. He has that ultimate. He wants to get somebody. Maybe Soul Stealer. No, not going to risk it. And that'll be the end.
Yeah, he was charging out the marksman shot a couple times on Kraken at 140 life with Mystic Vestments, and I think that could have been enough damage. It should have been enough damage, but chose to cancel it, or maybe got outranged. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
But doesn't get the kill there. In any case, that's exactly the kind of fight that tmsR needed to really get back into this game. They've still got that 400 gold per minute. Hacks, who I think he's going to go for a Shrunken Head portal key. That's normally what Haxern does like, although Kraken taking some damage here middle lane. Bad communication once more, though. Pulled him out of the chain reaction.
Yeah, that's, again, dangerous things about heroes like that move others around. You got to be on the ball with that communication. As you said right there, they were not necessarily on the ball. The pull happened, the chain reactions missed, and Kraken's like, all right, I'll just Tsunami charge away, and I'll be fine. I don't think they would have gotten the kill, honestly, in the end, so probably not the biggest deal in the world, but still, those small things can add up. Meanwhile, Pebble's actually going to jump Flux right here. He chucks him back into his teammates. Oh, there's some good coordination. The Keg shot didn't miss, but exactly, yeah, the idea was clearly there and thought out. Well executed. It does result in the kill in the end, and now they're going to easily push this middle lane. Flux is dead for 20 seconds. This should be a guaranteed tower kill. Yeah, Lion's not even interested in defending, it looks like, so well played.
Yeah, Lion's going to go ahead and try to get some farm in their other lanes in the jungle and whatnot. But like you said, really nice coordination out of the Engineer and Pebbles combination. And Slick's showing off the power of that nice early portal key. KGE continuing to suffer, 1 and 5. And this is going to be a triple stack Ancient kill now as well. So really, really big here for tmsRs. They're going to take a substantial gold lead. And they're just continuing to look strong. Now, the one upside here for the Lions is Fuzi. He's at 350 gold per minute, already level 12. He's been playing phenomenally, even though the rest of his team's suffering. And, ooh, Flux Ultimate pulling him backward. Oh, the Minotaur stun almost going off. And this should be a kill on Soul Stealer.
Yeah, he's going to ulti, actually. Scout's in trouble. They will get the kill on Soul Stealer. They tried to deny. Not going to happen, though. He does go down. Scout stays alive. And Engineer in trouble, but Pebbles joins that party. He gets a quick pick on a Wretched Hag. Flux, though, standing his ground. Where did Pebbles go? Pebbles actually gets away. And then Andromeda, in the meantime, she goes in, but Tankafet realizing that was not a good place to go into. And now Tankafet in a lot of trouble. He is going to be chased back, and I assume he is eventually going to fall right here. As Scout's just staying on top and making sure there's the auto attacks. Will it be enough? I mean, holy crap, Comet! Oh, Scout nearly getting turned there again, but he does barely live. That was close, but obviously Lion Esports Club winning that fight right there. Catching Soul Stealer initially definitely paid off. Scout doing the good job, though, of, well, scouting out initially.
Yeah, did a really good job with that one, but I gotta say, Slicks with the Haste Rune did work and bought tmsR their Saving Grace, which was a kill on Fuzi. A level 12 Wretched Hag distributes a lot of experience on your team. That actually brought Engineer up to level 8. So he's getting some work done. Finished up his Steam Boots. I think we'll probably see a Lex Talionis coming out on Moon Meander pretty soon here for even more negative armor stacking. Something he definitely does like picking up quite often, and I think this is going to be a game for that coming out. So we'll have to see. The Lions, this is just an even game, Breaky. There is nothing else to say about this. Both of these teams have their timings, and they're relatively similar on those timings.
Yeah.
So right now, with the resources as even as it is, no real like racks being pushed, no tower advantages. Although bottom lane,
just getting stuck.
They're making sure to shut down Fuzi.
Yeah, well, they're definitely picking up on that. I mean, he's had a pretty solid start, honestly, but yeah, another kill right there. And I wonder if he's purchased a Blessed Orb. I want to say he has. I mean, he's farming 356 gold per minute. He was upwards of 400. I want to say he does, but maybe not. If he doesn't have the Blessed Orb even, I mean, he really is quite behind here. As far as his farm is concerned, and as far as the GPM compared to what he has. So, yeah, that isn't good news for Lions, even with that last fight that they had. Him getting locked down. That's now his second death here. He's 5-2-2 overall, so again, not too shabby, but that definitely does hurt. In the meantime, that Shrunken Head on Soul Stealer, he does have the Warhammer, so it just needs the pattern, which is coming around just around the corner, so he looks like he should have that going into the next fight. And Pebbles also, actually bottom lane, Pebbles in a little bit of trouble. He goes back in, Stalagmites to cancel Scout, and now he's going to go for the TP. Will this work? The Marksman shot? No, it gets out! Oh, Marksman shot. If that went off, that was going to stop it, but not able to do so. However, they're going to mass push this bottom now, as all of them are here anyway, so...
I mean, I gotta say that bottom lane, that was really well played by both sides. Jonas to open with an auto attack before hitting the silence to deactivate the portal key, but then Pebbles just with the proper stun waited for all this, or excuse me, the proper Stalagmites and waited for the stun and made sure to TP on out of there. So great job. Lions will easily take down that tower, but Soul Stealers just picked up a brand new shiny Shrunken Head, and SS going to be looking to do a ton of damage from a very safe position. But here comes tmsR grouping up. They want to fight at these Ancients.
Oh, will this be good, though? Torture is going to be jumped on initially. His team's kind of leaving him. Torture does fall.
Good idea, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you did see the supporting cast coming in. I don't... Did they have? I mean, was Scott already gone? I feel like they maybe could have turned on that, but yeah, I guess they just didn't want to risk anything. Okay, so especially with Scott leaving already, you know, probably that does make sense. But so in the end, had to play the sacrificial lamb in the end. So
yeah, no problem with that. They saw two players coming down the top lane with their word of sight there, and then they said, okay, there's two coming right there. They're charging right for us. They know something's up. Where are the rest going to come from? Probably going to be top. They have that tier 1 middle already. Send Torture there. Hope that they eat Seal Kid and leave the rest of us alone. Seal Kid does his duty. Doesn't complain too much about it. And make sure that the very important heroes, the Wretched Hag, and the Flux and the Tempest, are able to get out of there. Jungle, though.
Oh, Flux with the pushback, knocking him out. Release the Kraken also catches Wretched Hag. Actually, she blinked in. She had the illusion when bottled up, though, and now Pebbles in trouble. Pebbles falling. Soul Stealer runs in with a Shrunken Head ultimate. Is it going to be enough for a kill? No, it's not on Wretched Hag, at least. They are going to chase Torture, though. Kegstun misses. Silka doing a good job of hiding in the woods right here. It's going to lines out. Tempest ultimate coming out. Lockdown Engineer. Soul Stealer is caught. Thrown in the torch. Does crack him, but that doesn't stun, of course. Down goes Soul Stealer. Big turnaround from Lions at the end. And KZU just has to TP back to base. Oh, tmsR overcommitting a little bit too much right there. Lions was able to respond yet again. That's what they do. And they made it work yet again.
We saw it in last game at the Helpborn Ancients where Ravener bought back and set up a massive team fight for his team. Yep. In this case, you have Hanskin get picked off in the jungle. He buys back and sets up the most gorgeous ultimate. But here we might have another buyback. Andromeda go for the Comet Stun right here. They're going to try to get Flux here, at least put a stop to this, but Andromeda's dead. There's the buyback on Pebbles. Never mind, that's just a res.
Yeah, he res. The swap from Andromeda swaps in Kraken right there to try to get him to initiate. Pebbles, portal key, will he go for it? Yes, he is. He's going to go for it. He jumps on the Tempest. Will this be enough? See the push, knocking him out. He chucks it back in. Tempest, no ultimate this time. And he is going to be an easy kill in the end. So, yeah, no buybacks used by tmsR right there. So, that was just simply resurrection. The tower also is going to be denied now, it looks like, on top of that. Or will it? No, they're going to leave it. Wretched Hag is nearby. They're going to go right for Kong, yeah. Tempest is dead. No ultimate even when he comes out. This is a beautiful time here for tmsR. So even with that fight that just happened, tmsR, especially enough to get this Conger kill, they're still feeling pretty damn good. Because now you also have Soul Stealer. I wonder what he is working on next. But is he going to be working on the portal key, you think? I don't know.
Think so, yeah. According to Haxer, that at a mid-game timing like this, a Shrunken Head portal key just allows you to do more damage than is actually reasonable. So he really likes that one. Wretched Hag on the other side is close to 400 gold per minute, and as soon as she finishes up that Grimoire, her farm is just going to skyrocket. And then, of course, you've got Scout that's been kind of flying under the radar. He's actually got Shrunken Head finished if he wants one right now, and I think that's what we're going to see out of Jonasen fan. Yeah. He's up at 350 gold per minute. He's doing work. 3-0-4. He's just been silently making plays happen for his team.
Yeah. Ain't nobody killing that tower but me.
Yeah, he has enough for the Shrunken. I mean, there is the Brutalizer option, obviously, too, but even that he has enough, so kind of curious what he ultimately is going for here, but saving up that gold necessarily isn't a buyback situation necessarily. Look at that gold difference, by the way. It was that 20 gold and experience difference for a second right there. I mean, it is just so close. It goes back to this just being such an even game number 3 right here between Lions and tmsR. The winner trying to advance on to the winner bracket finals here at the SoundBlaster Heroes League. Quite a bit is most certainly on the line, and definitely both teams giving it their all here in terms of trying to move on. The Grimoire power is still not finished on Hag. Actually, she has enough gold for it now as well, but she isn't going to pick it up just yet. Fuzi continuing to clean out the jungle, but no doubt that is coming, unless she's actually working out towards a sheep stick. That would be, I guess that's not out of the question, but that would be a little different here if that's what she does. So I'm kind of wondering if that is what Fuzi's going for. It's just more so he's so focused on farm. I'm not too sure, honestly, what the deal is. Scout in the meantime, middle lane. He was able to dodge death right there.
Yeah, but, I think it's going to be a Grimoire. I also think it's going to be a Shrunken on Scout. They just haven't purchased their items quite yet. And there's the Grimoire at least coming out. Now, on the other side, Pebbles is going to be getting pretty close to his Grimoire as well. And Kraken has gone for, once again, a Shaman's Headdress here. So probably going for the Barrier Idol. Oh, yeah. And that means no Soul's Bulwark, which if you're wanting to stack your negative armor, I mean, maybe you should pick up a Soul's Bulwark. 2,000 gold. I think it's going to be well worth that pickup. You
have a Wretched Dagger with the Grimoire now, going to be level 16 soon. So I think that's where the Grimoire, if anything, really does shine. So you could definitely make argument for both. But I think this is a case, though, where it's the Grimoire is just fine on it. Or, excuse me, the Barrier Idol. Wow. The Barrier Idol is just fine on Kraken. So. Yeah. By the way, Soul Stealer win a Firebrand here. So, yeah, he doesn't go that.
Interesting.
That's what I was wondering, because I felt, they have strong initiation with Pebbles. They got the good initiation with Kraken, Pebbles, the team fight presence. So just having him be more of that right-click carry for this team earlier on, I think made sense. So I think Haxer kind of agrees there. And obviously the Token of Life on top of it now. They're going to make a good timing push right here.
Whoa. Whoa.
What did we see?
Runed Cleaver on Scout.
What?
Okay.
A full Rune Cleaver.
Lions just transitioned this from a mid-game team into one with some late-game potential.
Yeah?
And this is really odd because this is not typically what they see. You normally see a Lions Esports Club team wanting to take fights constantly, and as soon as tmsR sees this Rune's Cleaver, they're going to turn the aggression up tenfold. Already 4 ports into the middle lane. Everybody PKing on out of there. This is going to be a deny on the tower. So I will say this: I did not expect that one, man.
Yeah, well, it was funny. Andromeda actually got canceled by the marksman shot, so he's kind of left by his own up here at the top lane. But yeah, so several things happened. Wretched Hag almost got picked up at the bottom side, by the way, as Pebbles ported back early. Nearly caught her off guard. She did blink away time. But holy crap, you're right. I mean, that just came out of nowhere. I'm sure that was communicated amongst the team, you know, bringing it up in Skype, whatever, like, guys, you think I need to go because of where they're feeling for some reason. This is a very even game. They want to start to get ahead, though, and definitely going to Rune Cleaver will help with that. I don't know, though. I mean, Wretched Hag, her farm's been solid. It's been solid. It hasn't been the shiniest, but it's been solid enough, I felt. This is a very risky leap here, I really think, from Lion Esports Club. And tmsR, obviously, I'm sure by now they've spotted that. He's farmed up some creeps here. So, you know, if you're tmsR, maybe really trying to turn on the throttle now, take advantage of that choice. Kraken in the meantime in the middle lane. Pebbles going for their spot, so Torture will fall. Tempest running an ultimate, maybe? No, he could not get both. So he's going to go for Kraken right here. Spawn some minions. A slow coming out from Flux, but there's the Tsunami charge. Kraken is still tanking it up. He goes back in. He doesn't have to release the Kraken. He is going to fall in the end. As, however, the Hellborn team running in. Scout jumps onto Andromeda, doing some good damage, but Andromeda is going to be fine. Or will he? Nope. Stalagmites come out.
Oh, Pebbles just kind of suicided a little bit right there.
Almost.
Oh, man. I'm really surprised they didn't try to go for the kill onto him, but I agree with you. This is a risk from Scout, but I think it's a good risk from Lions. I think that they had a pretty even shot here in the mid game, but with this one, they probably lose like 10% of their chance in the mid game, but they gain like 50% in the later game stages. So I think they're kind of hedging their bets right now, saying we should be able to turtle this one out long enough for this Rune Cleaver to really take effect, because later in the game, we were going to be even. Now we're going to have a distinct advantage past like the 30-40 minute mark. So I think that I like this one as, Flux in trouble.
They're trying to catch him right here. Well, then, no, he chucks the minion. He misclicked right there. Unfortunately, chucked the minion, and Flux actually blinks away before he gets caught. So, I mean, Andromeda was there backing up, Soulstealer charging, and that probably would have been a kill right there on a Flux. So a little bit of a misplay there from Slicks. Definitely helps keep Flux alive there in the process, and that's a big miskill coming out on their side. Wretched Hag, she's level 17, by the way, 2,900 gold more saved up. So we're going to see where she goes. Something like that, Shurken had follow-up, you know, definitely not out of the question. Speaking of that, same thing for Scout as well, very possible for him. And that Rune Cleaver, his farm has been enhanced, of course. It hasn't been taken out, though, either, once again. As actually middle lane, we have initiation. Soulstealer going to be pulled in. Flux with the puller right there. Soulstealer coming back up. Oh, we got healed, actually. I'm not sure even what happened. That must have been an illusion that I was looking at. He gets the ultimate off. Tempest will fall. Flux off to the side. Has that Shurken head up. It doesn't matter, though. Scout finds the opening. Backblast hits 3. Scout takes out Andromeda. Soulstealer dropping. They get the counter. Wretched Hag now. Scout gets the counter onto Soulstealer by quad kill for Hackstrom. And it comes right back up with the token alive. So, yeah, that must have been an illusion that I saw die real quickly right there. The real Soulstealer stays well alive. And, well, tmsR wins that fight pretty big time.
So, about hedging that bet on the fact that they'd be able to turtle this one out.
Yeah.
tmsR cranks up the aggression. There's the buyback on Wretched Hag, so it puts a stop to any kind of a base push. And so they will be able to continue turtling this one out. But for Tempest to get any kind of ultimates off, they're going to need to deal with the Andromeda, which means Scout probably needs to get a pick on the Andro before going into these team fights. In this case, they just didn't have that option. And you saw right there, what would have otherwise been a kill on the token of life from Soulstealer very early on ends up being a dead Tempest because of the swap into the Soulstealer ultimate. And it's just not going well for Lions. So they need to take some more time. They need to be the ones starting the fights. Otherwise, tmsR is going to have a rather distinct advantage. And, well, Token of Life expires now. So it's not going to be coming into play at least for another couple minutes until Kongor's back up. But Ag continuing to get bigger here, 425 gold per minute. And I would say that a 425 gold per minute Hag is probably going to be relatively comparable to like a 550 GPM Soulstealer, because she's going to keep on going up. Soulstealer will start to taper off a little bit here, but SS, I mean, 2,700 gold could be going for something like a Shroud himself, and that could be rather interesting. I'd love to see the Genjuro on him, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see where Hackstrom goes from here with that item present. So he's going to group back up with this team in the middle lane somewhat. Again, Kongor shouldn't be too much longer on their resurrection, so I'm sure waiting for that at the very least is definitely on the mind. But yeah, Jonas Fan, another 3,200 gold now saved up. So there you go. There's the Shrunken Head purchase. coming out right there. So I was going to say, what are we doing now? But Wretched Hag also, again, continuing to try to work on hers. And with her, and then also Tempest. So really 4 out of the 5 heroes here on the Lion side are going to have the Shrunkens. You got 2 here on the Hellborn side that have it picked up over here. So a lot of Shrunkens coming out between the two teams. You know, something else that we really haven't seen a lot of this game is the swap presence from Tankafet. It's still going to be there, though, so keeping that in mind as obviously as this game continues to move on, both in the save sense as well as the initiating sense is something to keep in mind.
Scout could be in trouble right here.
He is in a lot of trouble.
Might have to use the Shrunken Head, and even that, yeah, he's going to be able to get away. If he didn't Shrunken Head right there, Pebbles would have gotten a kill. But, yeah, the swap, I mean, I've seen it a couple times now, once to interrupt a Tempest Ultimate and once to try to get Pebbles out of harm's way, I think. But something else that I need to bring up here, talking about the late game, Scout's Disarm. If you're going to go the right-click route here on Soul Stealer, which he does with a Whispering Helm, this Disarm is going to be gigantic from Scout because late game, Soul Stealer is going to be their main source of damage, their main source of consistent damage. Pebbles and Kraken going to be able to provide the burst, but everything is going to be setting up Soul Stealer to right click. And if Scout's disarming Soul Stealer for, as Swindle Bones puts it, 6 seconds out of every 10, well, you're not doing too much damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, you know, Soul Stealer is one of those unique kind of carries, though, where even if he does get locked down with a disarm, he still does a bit with some demon hands and obviously his ultimate on top of that, and even assisting with the aura for his teammates such as the Kraken and the Pebbles. But yes, you are right. Obviously that could play a big role here.
It's hard to say that he even does damage with the demon hands and whatnot when you got 4 Shrunken Heads on Lions.
And it's not the most easy thing to line up either, especially in those big team fights. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. He will. Yes, disarm will hurt him. I'm not arguing that point. as far as this game progresses on, that is something to keep in mind, no doubt. The top tower going down, but this opens up another Conqueror opportunity for tmsR. This is the second Conqueror, I want to say. I don't want to jump. Yeah, I believe it is the second Conqueror, so no bananas just yet. But an easy token of life yet again, as it will be picked up by Haxrin yet again. So he gets that. Wretched Hag has that Shrunken. We talked about the 4 Shrunkens are all finished now on the Legion side. And actually, Flux, Super KG already has another 1,600, nearly 1,700 gold saved up. And he's farming 330 gold per minute himself, and actually he's 4th on his team with that farm. So overall farm really is continuing to be pretty good here. And again, the overall stats being pretty even. Meanwhile, top lane, Kraken being open. Look at the upfront burst damage. Will it be enough? Barrietto comes out. The ultimate. Release the Kraken coming out though. The swap from Andromeda. So there's the big first swap coming out from Tankafet. It saves Kraken. Here's a response attempt. Not going to happen, but just saving Kraken after they use quite a bit of resources there to try to kill him. Big plays coming out from Andromeda.
Tankafet's a man. Yeah. Tankafet is a real man. He gets the kill on Conqueror. He goes bottom to help them set up a kill onto Tempest in the jungle, and then he TPs before the kill is even over. He literally just provides some sight and then TPs on out to get the swap, save Keizu. And he's an incredible player. Really was a perfect pickup here for tmsR to replace Fitsky a couple months ago now. And tmsR, they're going to go ahead and move forward saying, we've got this token. Let's go ahead and take some fights before this gets out of control. Because Lions, they're already past the tipping point of being in the resource advantage. It's not going to get any better for tmsR. This is their time.
Here we go. Pressure into the middle tower. Easy tower kill. Top lane. You do see Wretched Hag Scott again trying to counter at least. So vulnerability coming out for both sides. Wearing off now. So tmsR, they're gonna go right for the Rex, and they're definitely gonna drop this. Yeah, I mean this is a base race that tmsR is easily gonna win. If that is a Moon Meander, actually, that was a silly decision, frankly. He went for the buy shop when they had players there and tried to get a TP to get back, but obviously that proved to be a bad decision. So he gets picked off. They do get the racks, does tmsR, and they will save their own. So in the end, again, tmsR having the better time of that exchanging right there. And despite losing the tower top, definitely worth it, especially knowing that they have a token alive still for another 4.5 plus minutes here. They can kind of regroup, push back out the lane, and push another lane now in even. So tmsR, I mean, despite the stats, they just continue to be so even. The gold is basically identical. Yet again, the experience is a slight advantage here for Lions as far as 4,000 goes. But I feel like tmsR overall in the better spot now, you could argue, with where we're at this point. I mean, again, though, the late game presence, Scout is going to start getting bigger and better, and that's a scary thing, as well as Wretched Hag for that matter.
Breaky, I think it's almost impossible right now to actually call who's in the lead. It's really going. The resources don't really matter. Like, the resources don't really matter at this point. The racks, yeah, it's going to give them maybe a little bit of, like, strategic map control, because now tmsR is going to be able to incorporate that into their movements, but it's going to come down to these team fights. And a slight advantage maybe, but Lions, they've definitely still got a ton of farming potential, but Haxerin, he's starting to hit hard. Savage Mace just picked up, and if he's getting onto those targets with some negative armor, he is going to rip through them.
Yes, the 40 souls being added up now. Remember, they buffed that up to 40 souls now instead of just 30. So a lot more later game presence in that sense. And on top of that, yeah, the Savage Mace now coming out. So here we go with that top push. You see Lions out. They're going to force tmsR to make a decision here. What do they do? Lions is pressuring the bottom tower already. They're pushing in. All 5 are here. We do have a base race on our hands. TP situation, both sides. Oh, wow. Soul Stealer does not have a TP. Soul Stealer does not have a TP. tmsR is kind of all in right here. They are going. They're pushing the top. They will get the easy racks kill. Bottom racks is killed. We have a base race. He might be able to pick up TP. No, they're going straight for the throne. We have a throne race, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 here. This is to see who moves on to the winner bracket finals. They are going right for the throne. Will Lions port back? Lions is porting back. That they are. The one tower still up. Energy field goes down, though. Oh, big damage ultimate coming out. Releasing Kraken. It does stop without pulls him in. Flux pulls him in. Soul Stealer ultimate. Down goes Flux. He has a buyback, though. Pebble's going to fall. Engineer goes down. Soul Stealer, the only one alive. He's putting an auto attacks. Not going to matter. He goes down. Token alive. He will fall shortly after once again. Lion Esports Club, they hold it off. They got the 2 racks themselves, and now they're going to push back. Wow. I think Lions is definitely in the better spot now.
Oh my God, Breaky. They stared down the barrel of destiny right there. They took the shot into the face. They TP'd back and they stayed alive. I don't even know, man. This Lions decision making is incredible. And I saw the energy field go up and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to blink in there and he's going to get perplexed. The shrunken head from Tempest gets them all. Swap from Tankafet. Oh my God, it was insane. Lions, they even up the rack situation here. It's now going to be a middle and top racks down for tmsR, and Lions, they're able to get the 2 side racks. There's no way that Lions is not in a hefty lead right now. Scout just grabs a Savage Mace, and I'm not exactly sure what tmsR can do. They tried to go for the base race. They got the throne almost exposed, Breaky, but I don't think that there's much left that they can do unless Lions makes a gigantic mistake.
Well, no, I mean, they still have beautiful AoE synergy. I mean, both teams do basically. So, as far as this game, again, yeah, Lions is now it's definitely swung in their favor, no doubt. But you do look at the big picture again. The rack situation is basically even at this point. Both sides have at least 1 melee racks, or 2 melee racks killed, I should say. You do see slightly better for Lions because they got the range racks bottom as well. But then there is that tower advantage at the World Tree. They got one down, the other one's at half life. For tmsR's towers, they're still basically both full life. So the team fight's still there. They get the wombo combo off. They get a big Soul Stealer, Engineer, Kraken all together. Then definitely some big plays can happen. And then there's always the buyback situation. It is a little bit better for tmsR. You have huge players like Wretched Hag, especially in that Tempest, about done a 1 buyback. In the meantime, for tmsR, it's just Kraken that only has 1 buyback. The rest still have 2. So I still think we definitely have a hell of a game here. The third Kogor, he's not going to be up for at least 3-4 minutes, I believe. So that probably is what we're going to end up waiting for, pending some big pickoff. But I think that's where we're at right now in this game. But yeah, look at Scout all of a sudden. Savage Mace on him. Holy crap. And he is just now farmed like a boss. Well, speaking of holy crap, Wretched Hag, 6,500 gold now. Saved up on Fuzi. What is he going for here? Sheepstick?
Yep, sheep. It's going to be the correct choice right here, so go ahead and clean that one up. Flux is going to have a demonic in about 300 gold, which is a gigantic pickup on him. Pebbles just finished up his demonic on the other side. I think Soul Stealer might be finishing out a Symbol of Rage very soon. He definitely has a Homecoming Stone on him this time, though.
Yeah,
because that was was kind of awkward.
It makes you wonder, like, if he did have a Homecoming Stone, would that have been different? Would they have ported back, or would they have still made it a base race? I don't know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Exactly. I think that they would have.
tmsR scooped up though. They're hunting here in the middle lane. Not going to find anybody, but I mean, creeps are already here in the base of tmsR, and Lions they're just going to go ahead and take all the map positioning advantage as a result of the side lane racks being down rather than middle and top.
Yeah. You see, let me just look at the bases right now. It is in favor of Lions. You see that bottom lane already pressuring into the tower at the sacrificial shrine. So obviously tmsR has to get back, take care of that. You look at the Congo pit, definitely the wards being focused around the area right now. You do have the one up there from tmsR. They also got a ward side actually in the middle lane, so from some good presence there, but it's still kind of a Congo ward in a sense, seeing if they're moving from the middle or not. So, or where they just are, so you know that they're not actually in the Congo pit. But again, I think it's safe to say that third Congo is going to just play the most important role this game. Not only does it mean bananas on top of that, but it's just that's where the game's going right now. I mean, both teams with the racks being down on both sides would just continue to be a very even game in terms of farm and even experience. I mean, it's actually a lot more in favor of Lions now, but still, the gold really isn't taken off by any means. So, when will he resurrect? I don't know the exact time, but again, it got to be coming out. Here we go with the sweeping though of that Congo area. Coming out by tmsR, using the bound eye as they should.
Ooh, illusions are actually really big right now. If Congo does spawn momentarily, which the way they're swarming this, I think he's going to be up within the next 30 seconds.
Yeah.
5 Soul Stealers will crush Congo, especially with the Savage Mace on him. So, but looks like they're going to go ahead and keep moving around. Maybe Congo not back up as early as they or we thought.
Yeah.
And already up top, they got to stop and defend the racks one more time. The range racks are taking a little bit too much damage for their liking. And this is, once again, having those side racks down, top and bottom racks down, is like 100 times better than having a top and mid.
Yeah.
Just because of the distance between rotation, especially at the far corners of the map, it actually takes you 30 seconds to rotate in between those lanes to push those out if you're at the river. And, well, going to be a little bit different.
It certainly is. It certainly is. The electric guy there waiting and waiting and waiting. Just playing the patience game now. It's really both teams at this point. 3,300 gold saved up on Solstice. You mentioned that similar rage. Very likely possibility here to come out. You know, I was going to say, I don't know. I almost want to say maybe go for something like a wing bug. They do have the Savage Mace, though, obviously on Scout, so probably wouldn't make the most sense there, but the idea with that disarm taking effect, that goes back to is a similar rage your best choice. I'm almost gonna say you could argue that going for straight up Behemoth might even be the better choice. But here it's already invested into that Whispering Helm, so yeah, you can pretty much again safely say that we will see the similar rage coming out here from Soul Stealer. But okay, Congo is up.
Middle lane breaky. They're trying to get Scout. Ooh, that Flux ultimate actually just saved his life.
Yep. That's a big ultimate to have in cases like that. But now, I mean, with that being down now, though, that hurts. I mean, Congo is going to be freely attempted now. Will they actually just let this go? I mean, they are kind of coming over.
I think they will, because this is a risky fight. A fight in their own base or a fight in their opponent's base is not necessarily risky. Even with the Token of Life, I think Lions is still confident. But it's possible that they still go. No Flux ultimate is huge, though.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I have no Flux. I think that's the biggest deal right there. They do get the Conquer kill. Token of Life is still on the ground. Nobody's picking it up, actually. Pebbles finally picks it up. And now here we go. Wretched Egg is going to fall right there. Meanwhile, off to the side, Flux coming in. They get the kill on a Scout. He jumped in. He goes down. That was just not good. Lion Esports Club, they got real. That was the worst case scenario. They jumped in basically when Congo died. It just fell apart. The energy fill was huge there from Engineer, of course, but yeah, Lions, that was just a poor decision on their part.
It was an extremely poor decision. Seal Kid was trying to get in there and do some counter warding, and I mean, Seal Kid gets picked off there. Who cares? Like, once again, Sacrificial Lamb, let him go do his thing and get out of there. In this case, they end up following it up. They give up the Token of Life, Token Bananas, force 2 buybacks here. One out of, I believe, Wretched Hag, her final buyback, plus 1 out of Seal Kid. Why take that fight? It was a risk. And you didn't need to take that risk. If you fight in an open field in either of the bases, you can fight through the Token and the Bananas. And Lions, they felt pressured. The decision was forced. And all of a sudden, tmsR is back in a very good position in this game.
Yeah, that's got to be such a Such a smack on the forehead to Lions. I mean, it's just as the team themselves, like they got to be really hating themselves right now because that was just, you really were just saying good control is sure. Even with, I mean, they've already shown that they could fight them with the token of life and come out on top of the fight. So, yeah, giving up a token, it wasn't necessarily the worst case scenario there for Lion Esports Club, especially with the lead that they were having. So, yeah, they made the poor decision. That definitely hurts. I still think there is a point that they still have a chance themselves. I mean, again, the stats still are even in their favor. But now you look at after that Conquer kill, you got the token, of course, on Pebbles. I will say that, I mean, because of their choice to initiate right there, that did kind of panic tmsR clearly. So I think that he tried to pick up the token. I think he ended up picking up the bananas on accident, and then they were just so focused on them having to fight that they ended up Pebbles picking up the token of life. So that's not the worst candidate to have it on, but still, you'd probably rather have it on Soul Stealer, if not even Kraken, honestly. But
yeah. I really don't think that matters too much, but what does matter is the lack of buybacks on Hag. You're going to have to play some real Rathan right now, like some serious split pushing coming out from both Scout and Hag, because you cannot fight into this token of life and Bananas right now with no buybacks on Hag. Yeah. It simply is not going to happen, especially since she had to use the buyback money, so she's not going to be able to have another item. She should probably have a refresher right now, or I don't even know, a Savage Mace, something other than the 3 items that she has, because she's poor.
Yeah.
This is 45 minutes in. This is a 507 gold per minute Wretched Hag, but she's still sitting on 3 items.
Yeah, it feels
Where
like
are the items
behind. Yeah, and I think something just like a Hellflower, honestly, to even extra lockdown, honestly, that Soul Stealer, preventing him from using those items, the symbol, the shrunken head, the geometer's been on top of the sheepstick, would be a pretty good choice here. But we'll see where she ends up going. But yeah, you're right, definitely not showing. Now, Restoration Stone was just finished on Tempest, I believe. At least I saw the purchase. Yeah, it is coming out. Delivered. That's big. I mean,
it's game changer.
Having a double Tempest all of it kind of speaks for itself, so no reason to really push on that. Okay, yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but
Rathan, baby.
Yeah, range for X dead, so got the ult cleared up there at both the top and the bottom now. Obviously, the middle and the top lanes are cleared up in favor of tmsR in terms of the melee racks, at least. The range racks are still up, though, so it should be slight pushes in favor of Lion Esports Club at those lanes especially. So, at the top lane even. But now if you're tmsR, though, now's the question of, do we really push the fact that we have this token? Or do we just play very safe still? I mean, there's 3 minutes remaining on the token here.
Lions is going to try to win this without taking a team fight. Like, they're going to try to win this just by working on these towers and then running away, forcing tmsR back. But, oh, Pebble's going to go in. Nice drunken head from Scout. And Lions are going to continue living life on the edge. Oh, middle lane!
Where is it? Oh, down here now. Tab is all about catches Soulstar, and Soulstar, who is that? That is just Soulstar, actually. There's so many illusions. I thought there was multiple heroes there. It was just Soulstar, though. He is going to be fine. Meanwhile, Scout will get picked off. Scout does not have a buyback. What just happened there? There were 2 different fights kind of going on right there. I mean, Lions, Tempest is like, guys, I got the main hero, but no one was there to follow. No one was there to follow, and now here we go. tmsR, they get the pick on a Scout. He is not buying back for a full minute right here. That could be the game. Look at Fuzi, though.
Oh, I think this is the game. Fuzi's definitely going for a little bit of a counter right here. Why are you trying for mega creeps when this is a throne race, Fuzi? Oh, tmsR knows what's up. They're going straight for this tower breaky. Here we go.
Yeah, they don't even care about the range tracks. They go straight for the tower. Pebbles jumps in. He gets the initiation right here. Torture falling quickly. Invulnerability coming out. Down goes Torture. He does not have a buyback. Scout is back up, by the way. He was able to buyback. That is big. Kraken taking some good damage. Soulstar, though, putting in the auto attacks. Tempest coming. Tempest does have another ultimate, remember. He has the rest still stone. So they still have a big ulti chance. Wretched Hag! Be like, nice flash! There's Tempest coming out! The swat, though, from Andromeda! Andromeda was winning! Soulstar ultimate! Down goes Scout. Tempest is now in trouble. Flux is in trouble. The World Tree is exposed. Wretched Hag is dead. She cannot buy back. GG's being called. Too much sugar takes game number 3 over Lion Esports Club. They're going to the winner bracket finals here in the SoundBlaster Heroes League. What a finish right there.
Oh my God, Breaky. I don't even know what's going on with these SPHL games recently, but the battle of the fan favorites right here. Lions was almost like everybody came into this one saying Lions is gonna win. Like, Lions is the second best team in the league, like the second best team in the scene. tmsR, they just lost in stunning fashion to IG this weekend.
Yeah.
tmsR came to play. They absolutely came to play. Lions Esports made small mistakes, and tmsR made every capitalization possible, punishing their opponents, and now they have secured a podium finish minimum here in the SoundBlaster Heroes League, going to the winners bracket finals on Saturday. I did not see this one coming, Breaky.
Wow. I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, that was just a holy crap. I mean, yeah, the fact that Too Much Sugar was able to pull that through the. I mean, both teams back and forth. You know, obviously people talk about that. You know, there were some throws. I mean, that's gonna in games like with epic finishes like that. Yes, teams make mistakes. That's how it kind of gets to that point in the first place. But it's just the fact that tmsR, they made it happen at the right time. I mean, you look back at that middle fight though. The beautiful catch onto Soul Stealer there. 5 of them. He had an illusion rune as well as Geometer Space. So he caught 5 Soul Stealers. That was a huge chance right there to make something happen in terms of Lion Esports Club. But again, the team, they were kind of pushing the base at the same time. So it was really mixed up. They tried to get there in time. But by the time they did, tmsR was all ready to respond. And obviously they turned that around, including the pick on a scout. And even though he was able to buy back eventually, it was just so late by that point. And also, Tankafet, you know, I made a comment earlier about, you know, he wasn't really getting the biggest swaps off throughout most of the earlier on game. Wow. I mean, he kind of shut me up right there. We'll talk about a huge-ass swap. I mean, that was tough, too. I mean, there was so many heroes there clumped up with Flux pulling them in, so many team heroes as well as opponent heroes, and he managed to perfectly pick out Tempest. Could you imagine if he accidentally misclicked somebody else, how different that fight could have been right there? I mean, it's ridiculous to even think that. So, wow. I mean, what a finish. tmsR, though, I'm sure they're cheering. They're happy. And they're feeling damn good after that one when it's all said and done. So, and you know what what that means? I think I'm going to see if I can get that set up here. But
you think?
I think.
You think?
All right.
Maybe
get somebody. Maybe get somebody.
Oh, boy.
But we'll see.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll talk to them in just a minute. I mean, all I've got to say right here, Breaky, is that was just incredible play coming out of tmsR.
Yeah.
Just really, really looking good. And this might be some of the best play I've seen out of them. Their top finish, of course, is a top 3 in Cycle 4, I want to say, of Han Tour. Right now, already securing a victory here in the SBHL with a podium finish, getting themselves in the money and really proving to their fans that they are making improvements, that the superstar, all-star, fan favorite team is finally starting to put out results. A win over the Lions Esports Club just means so much to these guys. And I just got to say, congratulations to them. They played so well. Now Lions going to be dropping into the losers bracket to play Justice League. One of those two teams going to be eliminated here tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we still got another match ahead of us here today, Breaky. Stay Green versus IG going to be coming up next. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that one. The Han never stops here in Hontober.
It does not. It does not. We definitely got still plenty to happen today. But, you know, I made the comment going into today's cast as well, obviously, as far as yesterday's matches, specifically that Game 2 Denial versus Justice League, and how much momentum was being worked off that, and, you know, wondering if the hype could be lived up to what happened yesterday. But I think it's safe to say we definitely got that. We definitely got that here as far as this series as a whole. I mean, a full 3-game series against 2 very quality teams. And, again, this is still just – we're only now moving on to the winner bracket finals with tmsR. Lions dropping down to the losers bracket. And as you mentioned, they're going to be playing Justice League down there. And you talk about a team that has a lot of momentum going for them. That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch. That'll be happening tomorrow, of course, from the losers bracket. So Lions, that's a dangerous match for them. They could possibly get knocked out and not finish in top 4 even here in the SoundBlaster Heroes League, and that would be something. That would be something here for that. So, all right, I believe I actually did get an interview here, so let me go ahead and add him to the call real quickly. I did get Haxerin of tmsR going to be joining us here, so let me actually also get this set up here real quickly. Haxerin!
Hello, Breaky.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great. Just won a pretty intense series.
Yeah.
I'll say.
You think? Holy crap, man. I mean, intense series, I think, is an understatement. What a game. What a game that was, man. Holy crap. We're just how are you feeling, first off? I mean, I'm talking about our emotions, but how are you feeling after that crazy game there?
Been a pretty big win over Lions. Like, I don't think we've beaten them in a long time in an actual match. Like, we've been beating them in scrims, but it feels good to beat them in an actual series. And then 2-1, and with such a insanely good end.
Yeah.
So,
What was it like? You got caught by Tempest there at the end. Were
I
you
baited
thinking?
it.
Were you like you baited it?
Yeah, because we know Tank had PK on Andromeda. I was just waiting for them. But I popped my
Okay.
Shrunken before that, so it basically did nothing on me. And then Trent caught the Scout somehow. Really well played. I have no idea how he got the Scout, but and then we killed him, and we went for the throne. They walled back, no Shrunkens. We just fucked them up.
Oh yeah, talk about the swap. Tanka fed at that.
Yeah,
Jesus, those swaps.
shout out to Tanka, man. He literally stopped every hole. Like I was like, oh, I see like 8 heroes inside the Tempest hole causing the blocks. I think how is he gonna hit? And he just got it every time. So we won the game.
That's what I'm. In fact, I'm watching on stream right now. It just happened on stream. The swap there. He literally swapped within a half second. I mean, that you said like there's 8 heroes there. He could easily misclick. Easily misclick.
And we would have, if he misclicked, we would have flamed the shit out of him. Now we know.
Yeah, that was big.
Oh,
that was
God.
big. Oh wait, now here I am screwing things up. All right, anyways, wow though. Again, what a game, what a series. So you guys just beat Lions. Obviously, it sounds like a lot of cheering going on in Skype. I'm sure.
Yeah, we were
After
happy.
the game. Happy, but it's not over yet. It's not over
No,
yet. There's
it's
still
not
more to
like it's not like we're happy we won, but it's not like we won DreamHack, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good win in a very epic fashion. So you guys are moving on to the winter bracket finals. I'm sure you're going to keep a close eye now on Stay Green versus IG.
Yeah, we are. We haven't scrimmed SD a lot, but we know how they play. It's so hard to play them, so I think we have to bring our A game to beat them.
Yeah.
But there is a chance, you know. It's always.
Yeah, of course there's a chance.
Yeah, I think we got a big chance. So I mean, we'll see. I can't say anything. I'm gonna shut up.
Can't count IG out though. I mean, that match coming up next year, and it's possible. I mean, just 3 weeks ago, we saw IG take out Stay Green 2-0. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be prepared for both sides right there. But I think it's safe to say Stay Green the favorites. But then again, today I guess these legends are bleeding. So,
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're down to play either. It doesn't matter for us. We're gonna win anyhow.
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
Okay, that's the attitude, you know.
Confidence.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You got to play Puppet Master game 2 at least. I know it wasn't a win in the end, but yeah,
we played really bad. We took 4v5 team fight. That's like top when they went for a tier 2. I said I can't port. I just ported bottom, and then we fought them anyhow. We just basically lost the game by that. We got out-trained.
You did. It was, but again, in the end, you guys obviously come through and you get the victory. So obviously feeling good with that. Any final questions, B? First off, that you have?
No questions here, Hacks. Just congratulations. I know you guys have been really, really hungry for a big win like this, and definitely showing your fans out there that you guys have been improved, that you've been putting everything you got into this one, and a lot of momentum now. Going to be rolling into your matches on Saturday and maybe even Sunday, and then, of course, into your death matches next week. I mean, just congratulations, man. Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Any shout-outs you want to make here, Haxron?
Yeah, shout out to my team. Shout out to you guys for casting, and shout out to all the viewers. Shout out to all the tmsR fans out there. Keep supporting us. We don't suck. We are actually quite good. So yeah, that's it.
Good way to put it. We don't suck.
Yeah.
We're actually quite good. Love it, Hax. Love it, Hax. All right, again, good luck. Obviously, now in the next round, that'll be coming up. What? You guys have a break tomorrow, so Saturday is when you resume for the SoundBlaster Heroes League. So again, you get to sit back now, be at least get to watch a little bit. So I'm sure you're happy with that. Again, congratulations on the big win, man, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye.
There you go. Haxron again joining us there from tmsR. Wow. Again, though, it's I don't know if there's much else to say. And you know, the other great thing about this too is this is actually going to line up pretty damn well, as you talked about. We got that other match now, Stay Green versus Internet Gangsters, and I believe they're already in the process of making the lobby even and getting into that. So, Beef, we got to go into a short break right here. Get that all set up.
Whew. I had to go get a breather, man. Get some fresh air because these games have been insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Breaky. I don't know what to do with these games anymore, man. They just can't get any better. And it seems like SoundBlaster Heroes League games, like